Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Resnick, and I'm running for school board in Area C. I'd like to thank you for having me here tonight, and my amazing team that's throughout everywhere out here. So, doing a great job. Actually, I think we just finished walking. I think we knocked on every single door in our area so far. So, we still need to get out and get the word out as far as my running. But initially, as far as Simi Valley, we found Simi Valley when many years ago we had a pet vaccine clinic, and we used to drive from what I call Phelps Ranch, my wife called Pomona, but we drove all the way out to Ventura. And we stopped, one of the stops that we had was in Simi Valley. And so every time that we stopped here, we love the people here. My wife said that she wanted to, move here, buy a house here, and I thought, we don't have the money even to make a down payment. Somehow she came up with it, and we put a down payment on the house. The rumor is that she used some of her shoes. So before we even moved in, we were doing a vaccine clinic. We already, had the offer. They accepted the offer, and we're doing a vaccine clinic down at Teresa's. And one of our new neighbors came and greeted us already to the neighborhood. And I thought that's the kind of place that I want to live in. Also, when our son started school for the first time, he went to Hollow Hills. One of his teachers came to us and told us, how we needed to help him with his times tables. He had trouble with his 11s and 12s, and she went through everything that we needed to do, helped him out tremendously. And I thought this attention to detail and personal, detail was actually very important to us. So Leslie became an important part of the PTA. I joined a lot of different charity organizations. I joined the Rotary Club. I've helped out with a lot of different other charities, including Kiwanis and the Boys and Girls Club. I don't know how many puppies we've donated for these charities so they can keep running their auctions. But one of the best things that I had that I loved doing, I was on the Education Foundation for 10 years. And it was a great organization, still out there now. And what they do is they help promote our distinguished teachers, and we have a lot of them. And so it was very hard in some cases to pick. They also give some school supplies to the teachers, and then scholarships to the children in the community. So it was a great organization, but I thought I had my time there, and I had to move on. So I thought everything, as far as my understanding with the schools, it was going great. But then I found out, actually after COVID hit, I think as a lot of people, we started looking at the schools a little differently. To me, medically, it didn't make any sense as far as what they were doing. So I even contacted the health department up in Sacramento, and I said, you're making the kids wear masks. What's the reason for this? Show me the benefit that they're having by wearing masks. So I did a FOIA request, and so they had to answer, and they did send me something back, and they said there was no benefit. And they admit it, there's no benefit. So I contacted our superintendent at the time, Jason Poplinski. I told him this. He said, I understand, but there's nothing I can do. And I thought, this is ridiculous. Yep. So I said, at least let the parents know, so they have an option to discuss this with you. And nothing happened. So then I started looking a little deeper. I found out as far as the grades and the scores of our kids, used to be 71 and 72% in math and English. That's now minimum proficiency upon graduation is now 34% in math, 50% in English. Not acceptable for me. It was brought up at one of the school board meetings about this. They said, yes, it is something we need to look into. Then another comment right afterwards, we're not the worst school in California, so we don't have to worry about that. So I have a lot of different ideas of how I want to fix things. I think that we can get tutoring programs working through the local community colleges will help out at no charge. I had a Zoom call with Brandy Yee at Cal Lu, and that's one of the ways I want to do it, but there's a lot of different ways that I have out there, including looking at our budget and everything else. So I think my time is up, and I'd love to take any questions you have. Yes.
I have a huge softball, so this might be a little toughy, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to get it out there because this will come up.
Yeah.
2 years ago, your office sent an email to me as a veterinary customer of your office with my pets. And personally, I thought it was a little unprofessional, somewhat inflammatory with some of the theories on masks and conspiracy theories and that. Do you have any regrets about sending that letter out to your trusted customers?
The question was, do I feel bad about sending an email out to all of our clients? And actually, I do not. I feel that I had the need, that I had to say something. It is the truth. It's not conspiracy theory. As I told you, I found this out through our own health department. So it's not a conspiracy. And if they're hiding something, if our government is hiding stuff from us, I think everyone needs to know this.
Yes.
Anybody else? There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, during the COVID lockdown, there's a lot of talk that the teachers' unions had a lot of sway over the closures. How much you think you could do as somebody that's not really connected to the unions have if that comes up?
You have to work with them.
The question is, how much, how can I work with the teachers' union as far as and lockdown again? Or you mean?
And if something like that comes up again, I think that the teachers' unions have too much control. The other candidates are basically rubber stamps for the union, and I don't think that's right.
Well, I think the buck stops with actually the school board. So if the school board, we have to work with the teachers' union, absolutely. But do we need to listen to them and follow all their rules? No, we don't.
Yes.
So we have to do what's best for the kids. That's the final outcome. Whatever is best for the kids is what we need to do.
Yes. All about the kids.
How do you feel about resource officers on campus, and do we have enough?
Right now, we have 2 police student resource officers in Simi Valley out of all the schools. And I think we do need more. The problem that we have is Simi Valley is the only city in Ventura County where they're not paid for any part by the school system. And I think that's wrong. As it turns out, there is extra money that the schools do have to help cover the cost, at least some of the cost, if not all the cost, of at least additional resource officers. So I think that needs to be addressed.
Comment
Yes.
to the Simi Valley Unified School District, that it is a question. But I think that yes, budget are issues, but I think we shouldn't be spending money on tampons in boys' restrooms. Sorry, guys. Do we have?
There's state law.
Yes.
Yes, I agree, Lala.
If we, whatever we have to do, we do. Whatever we don't have to do, we don't do. I mean, whatever's the best for the kids. Whatever way we can get around it, whatever we can do that's best for the children, that's the main thing. What's that?
What are your thoughts on it? Do you think they're necessary? Do you think the money could be spent better elsewhere?
I think a lot of things could be better spent elsewhere.
Oh, yes.
I know being woke is a generic term. It's my understanding, and I don't have children in the schools, but I did employ locally educated people. And you've mentioned that the scores have dropped considerably. Might that be tied into some of these woke philosophies?
So you're asking whether the woke
So my social emotions are
philosophies are affecting the scores of the children. It is possible. I mean, that is a lot of the stuff that's out there now is a lot of distraction for the children, and I think we need to get back to focusing on the basic education. My belief is that schools should be teaching basic education. There's other stuff that should be done by the parents, the community, somewhere else, but not in the school system. That's what I
Thank you,
believe.
yeah, man. Nice.
So I graduated Simi Valley High School in 1985. And one of the things that it was on the downside, but we used to have vocational education. You know, there was wood shop and there was, home, I mean, whatever you wanna call it, but it seems like we can modernize a vocational, what is your thoughts on, some vocational aspects in our high school?
Well, we actually do have a CTE program in the school system, but I would expand on that. They don't have every single thing out there, plus they're not, in some cases, being complete and following through on the programs they have. I talked to someone whose daughter went to the nursing program, and yet when it was time for an internship, not available. So you can't start a program, you can't do it halfway, you have to finish it all the way through. But I don't think that they have like plumbing, electrical, things like that. They have a lot of good programs out there, but I don't think they're complete. And I think we need to work with local businesses in the community. They're gonna partner with us and get the workforce that they need through that program too.
They do have some shop classes, my kids went to Simi High a few
Okay.
years ago.
Yeah.
Some shop classes.
They also have an automotive program?
Automotive, wood
Yes.
shop, a number of them.
So, I assume you need additional donations to your campaign because I'm not from this area. I, know for a fact that the teachers union is pumping thousands of dollars into all school board candidates, including CVUSD, and I'm sure they are for you too. So if anybody in here can feel like they can donate 5, 10, 15, 20, it helps.
Yeah, I would appreciate any donations people give. Campaigns do cost a lot of money, but we're still, gonna, no matter what, we're gonna see this through. But if you can help us out, that would be great. Yes.
Okay, Dr. Ron, I'm a teacher. A big concern of mine is the curriculum on ethnic studies. Every student that will graduate in 2029 must have taken a course in ethnic studies. You're in the board. I know you will be in the board. How would you describe the ethnic studies curriculum that you would try to implement in the local school districts?
Well, I think once I get on the board, I have to look at actually every curriculum. I'm gonna probably be inundated, and I'm probably gonna need a lot of help from a lot of people, because I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of books that I'm gonna need to look through. So if I can get anyone's help out here, that would be great, because I'm gonna have to look through everything, because I think that's what we need to do, is to start from the beginning. We have to go back and look at everything.
Thank you.
I'd like to backtrack on this woman's questions here regarding the,
Feminine products and men's
Feminine
products.
in the voice therapy.
Yeah.
Because you said some things we have to do, some things we don't, and then it, the question just disappeared. And I don't blame you, because everybody who's asked this question does the same thing, nobody answers it. The question was, what are your thoughts on it, whether the state says you have to do it or not, what do you think?
If legally we have to do something, unfortunately, we have to do it. Now, we can let everyone know, we can let everyone here know, and everyone else out there know, so they can argue with their legislator to try to change that. But if we have to do it, unfortunately, we may have to do that. I don't think it's right, but I think it's something if we have to legally do, unfortunately, that has to go. Jack?
How's it gonna go with some of the books that are behind closed doors regarding, the transition of children, the pornography, things like that that are, they say are not in our schools, but in some schools they are. And it needs to be brought out. If takebackmyclassroom.com, you can see those books, but what's gonna happen to be able to fight that? Because most of the parents do not want their children exposed to that. And it's not always in the library, it's behind in a different room.
She's asked a question about certain, is probably inappropriate material books that are out there in the schools, both in the library and actually some in the classroom. Unfortunately, I found out more recently that actually California is one of 27 states that passed a law making it a little loophole that pornography is allowed in the classroom.
Oh.
It's not allowed outside the school, but if you walk in the classroom, it's allowed. So that's the way that California is one of the 27 states that allows that. Now, we can work around that a little bit. One is, I found out that parents can opt out of certain things. The thing is, I'm not sure, when I asked other people that have taken their kids to school, I asked them about this, they said they were completely unaware that was a possibility. So I think it needs to be out there that we can let everyone know that that's a possibility and what's going on. Then let the parents make the decision what they want to do.
What exactly is the board's
Yes.
responsibilities if they just do what the state tells them?
But I didn't hear that.
So what exactly is the board's responsibilities if you guys just keep doing what the state tells you to do? Where does your authority come in?
I think we're under certain laws that we have to obey the laws, so whatever we have to obey, we obey, but there may be certain ways around it that we can, like I said, as far as let the parents know, so.
Do you think there's a certain way to get in front of these laws rather than just work around them once they've already been passed?
The-
You
Yeah, the way around it is to get, our people that are representing us in office to change it. So we let parents know, those parents, complain to their people, and we get the laws changed. That's the way that we actually fix this.
This lady right here has a question.
I gotta disagree with that. You're board members, so under the California State Constitution, you have every legitimate right among the board members that have a legitimacy granted by the people, and you can't fight against an illegitimate law that's been passed. So just because something has been passed by our corrupt legislator that may be enshrined in the state constitution, it's not an agreement, and it's null and void. So when you look at court cases, Marbury versus Madison, Garza versus Miranda, you name it, you guys have every authority to look at something. So my question to you is, does not the board take the time to look at something that has been egregiously passed, to nullify and then stand up and then fight against it in court? Because you are granted that money, you are granted that money.
That's an excellent question, and I need your information because I need to fix this. So whatever information you have, I need that.
Yes!
Recently, California's passed a law, if I'm not mistaken, that parents don't have to be notified of sexual transitions. Is that right?
It's actually up to the teachers. They don't. At least they didn't say that they can't, but they say they don't have to let them know. That's again something that's inappropriate, I feel, but that's just the way that things go. But if we can fight this legally, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, this young
So
lady.
I just, thank you so much. With all the extracurricular things that they piled on and each classroom, we have to get up to this standard, that standard, and it's not math and history and reading. Do you realistically think we can bring the grades up when there's only so many hours in the day? And they're constantly switching to something that's not.
Well, asking about how we can adjust the curriculum to get the scores up. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it, but I know we're going to get it done. And here's the issue that I see when at least I talk to, because I can't, if I talk to any teachers right now, and they don't want to talk to me. So I have talked to a few outside, and there others, events and things like that. And what at least I'm getting so far is they think that the curriculum does not match up the testing. So there's a disconnect. So I think that the problem is not so much that, I think there are still a lot of distractions that we need to trim down, but I think there is a way to get that matching up where we can get the kids feeling better about themselves and getting kids like when I was in school, I loved school. And we need the teachers and the kids both to love going to school. That's what I'm hoping for.